Hey guys, it's Bub here, and in this video we're going to be attempting to triple boot Windows 98, Windows 10, and Windows 11. Now I know you may be thinking, why would you ever do this? And honestly, I have no clue. I don't even know if this is possible on a physical machine, but I know it's possible in the VM world. So let's get into it. This is going to be really exciting, but probably really painful because I don't know if we're going to be able to triple boot. So the first operating system that we're going to actually install is Windows 98. Only because, one, that's how I know how to do it, but two, if we install Windows 98, we can then basically go in, install it like we're installing it on a typical computer, typical VM, go in and then expand our hard disk. So expanding it in VMware settings. So then we can literally go through, install Windows 10, do the same thing with Windows 11, and then use EasyBCD to go ahead and go through and configure our boot menu options. That is what I am hoping will work. If it will actually work that way is beyond me, but that is my estimation on how this is going to work. I'm hoping it goes as smooth as I just said, but again, that's why we're here to figure it out. So let's get Windows 98 installed. Right now we're formatting the drive, and just so if you're trying to replicate this at home for literally whatever reason, the VM is set up on Windows 2000 Professional. So we do have IDE drives, we have all that kind of fun stuff. When we get to installing VMware tools on Windows 10 and 11, I am going to switch it to Windows 10 or Windows 7, only because I don't want the system to switch to a UEFI system. I want it to stay legacy so we can actually support Windows 98. And of course, running legacy, we need to have the modified Windows 11 ISO so we can actually install Windows 11, because anything that runs Windows 98 will not run Windows 11 officially. And we have just activated Windows 98. It is running off of the hard disk and not the actual CD-ROM, virtual CD-ROM rather. So again, this part may take a while because it is Windows 98. I'm not even worried about VMware tools in this experiment. I'm not going to actually install it. I don't think it's worth it. But because that's going to be a problem switching between the different operating systems, I think. So we're just going to get the OS installed. It'll be usable, it just won't have the best graphics drivers. But then we'll be able to go in. Windows 10 is next. And here we are inside of Windows 98. For some reason my cursor is off, but that is completely okay because we've installed 98. So the next thing to do is up the memory because, I don't know if we can do that. Because I know Windows 98 has some issues with more than 1 gig. We can go 4 for now because we're not booting 98. Now we need to expand our hard drive. Let's make this 60 gigs. So what this means is that we have our 8 gigabyte Windows 98 partition, but then we also have a 52 gigabyte unallocated partition. So that is what we're going to install Windows 10 to. We're going to put Windows 10 on that unallocated partition, and then we're going to do the same thing, or maybe not. We'll see. We're going to do something similar so that we can get Windows 11 installed. We're going to go with Windows 10 Pro just because it's probably the best edition for this, even though we're not activating it, doesn't really matter. And this is a problem. Because we're using IDE, I did not think about that. Windows 10 doesn't like IDE, I don't think. Or SCSI rather, sorry. Okay, new plan. We're adding a new hard disk. We're adding a SATA hard disk. This is going to work perfectly fine because once we're in Windows, it should be able to detect Windows should be able to detect the SCSI drive. So when we're in Windows, we should be able to use EasyBCD to create a second, to refer it to go to the SCSI drive. I'm hoping. I hope. I really, really hope. Let's try this again. I'm really hoping that new SATA drive. There we go. That is our SATA drive. And it is failing. Oh, wait. It is failing to create a partition? That is not. That's really weird. I have to watch my own old video to figure out how I did this. Oh my. I see what I did. Okay. So I set it up so the hard disk was IDE originally. And I kept it IDE throughout the whole thing. IDE. So now that means we got to start this whole thing over. Don't worry, not for you guys. For you guys, we're going to jump straight in to installing Windows 10. But for me, this means we have to go in, we have to do Windows 98. We have to make that hard disk as an IDE. Oh, that was dumb of me. Why did I do it that way? Okay, before we get any farther, before we do anything else, I'm going to boot in to the Windows 10 installer to make sure that it detects the IDE drive. And if it does, then we'll be good. But if it doesn't, and I don't have enough RAM. Alright, and here we are inside of Windows, not 11, Windows 98. So, again, expanding this disk, 60 gigs. Let's try this again. I'm hoping it works this time. Again, we need more RAM for Windows 10. So 64 gigs, not 64, 4 gigs, sorry. And Windows 10 2009. And let's hope, really hope, that this works. Alright, this is the moment of truth. 58, next. And it worked. We're installing Windows 10. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead, because it is doing its own thing. Because we don't have networking, we are going to just download EasyBCD and copy it over through VMware Tools. Alright, so I'm not sure if the video actually got it. I'm going to have to check through editing because I just checked and some of the footage from my last clip got corrupted. Not sure how. But basically what we did was we took Windows 10, it finished up installing. I went in to create and format hard disk partitions and simply partitioned the Windows 10 partition into a 28 gig and a 30 gig. And then I installed Windows 11. So that's all that I did. And now we're going to set up Windows 11 and then get EasyBCD up and running. So here is EasyBCD that we just downloaded a little bit ago, and we're going to install it. Now, Windows already shows up as Windows 10 and 11 when we start, but we need to add Windows 98 into our bootloader thingy. Not really sure what it's called. So going ahead and Windows 10, Windows 11, add new entry, Windows 98, add. Windows 9X added to the boot menu, so now all we in theory have to do is restart our machine, and we should see Windows 98, Windows 10, and Windows 11. And here we are, Windows 10, Windows 11, and Windows 9X. So I'm not going to boot into all of these because this video is already way too long, but just as long as we can boot into Windows 98, because we know 10 and 11 work, if Windows 98 will boot, we're good. And look at that. Windows 98 has booted. Or is booting, rather. So with that being said, thank you for watching this video. And of course, I put too much RAM in the machine. If we lower the RAM out to 1 gig, we'll be able to boot everything, but it's not going to be efficient. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. If you found this interesting, definitely let me know down in the comments below. I really have no clue why you would want to do something like this, but it was fun to do. With that being said, see you all in the next one.